is the Rangers Journal night.
Good evening and welcome to your Rangers Journal match reaction following a 1-0 victory over Hearts in the SPFL. With me tonight, got a good panel, bunch of the OGs, and they're all stuck with me, poor buggers. Scotty, I'll come to you first, mate. How you doing after that?
Hey, aye, alright, mate. It's a bit of a hard watch, if I'm being honest, but I'm just glad we kind of got it over the line. Cammy was saying on the podcast on Friday, I think it was, that as long as it was going to be 2-0 with minimal fuss, but I think it was 1-0 with a bit more fuss than minimal. I think it's fair to say.
Aye, hard to disagree, mate. And Billy, it's an interesting backdrop you've got there, mate, making us all feel a bit stuck at home.
You join me live from Tel Aviv, where there has been several... no, I'm just joking, guys. I'm on holiday. I just thought I wanted to join, say hello. I'm going to say, you call us OGs. OGs and a prodigal son. I think that's what it is.
Aye. We'll go with that. And last but certainly not least, Bobby, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. Good to be back with the boys. Shout out to Scotty and everyone in the Rangers Journal. Yeah, man, that game, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Honestly, I'm bored. I'm fed up. I'm frustrated. I even went before today's game. I took my missus to a garden centre with her mum. That's
there, pal.
where I'm at right now, mentally. That's where I'm at right now. Garden centres. I know we're going to go into it, but fortunately, you got to look at the facts. Clean sheet, Dessler scores, that'll be another conversation. Rangers win a game of football. Should we be complaining?
Aye. We'll absolutely come to that, mate. So yeah, I think you nailed it. We actually started quite bright, I would say. Very much wanted to start on the front foot. Got that early goal. Scotty, with that goal, I mean, obviously it's Dessers that got the last touch. What did you make of that? Were you kind of happy with that? Did it speak of an attacking intent to you at that point?
I think it's a goal that was very warranted for the phase of the game we were at. I know it was very early, but Rangers came out and started really, really fast. It's probably the only period of the game that Rangers played with that kind of fast tempo, passing football. They got on the ball really, really well. They moved it really quickly. Tab obviously done what Tab does and gets his assist. It was a nice positive start, and we deservedly went 1-0 up.
Yeah, and Billy, just kind of following on from the goal, did you feel like we were going to kind of push on from that following a bright start, or were you expecting the pace to drop a wee bit?
I should have expected it, no, mate, but I thought we looked, by far started the best. We've complained for a number of years that we are quite slow to start, but in recent games that's been something that's I feel has improved. We've come out the blocks again today, got an early goal. Just at the back of my mind, you hope a wee bit, you go, this could be another 5-0. But this nagging thing at the back of your mind, which is borne out again today, is this is all we're going to get today, and that's what happened. But I felt certainly in the first half we deserved to be a few more goals up. But the start alone, we deserved that goal, and we deserved probably more in the next 15-20 minutes as well.
I think so, mate. And Bobby, what were your thoughts on it? I'll probably ask you the same question. Did you expect us to kick on, or were you, God, I wish I was back at the garden centre at that point?
To be honest with you, man, it was like, no, I didn't. First of all, my answer to that is no. I didn't expect us to kick on because, listen, no disrespect to Hearts and stuff. Look, the league table doesn't lie. They are where they are. At the same time, we're not the Rangers of old. We're not the Rangers. And when I say that, I mean, we're not the force or the establishment, the firm, when you go to Ibrox, God, you're trying to keep the score down kind of team. That's not us anymore. So if I'm honest with you, I think today, I was kind of expecting a more attacking Hearts to one hit. So you know what I mean? Take a hit of attack them, attack Rangers, see what you get. Listen, the goal is fortunate, isn't it? At the end of the day, you want your striker to be end of anything in and out. For me with Dessers, and I know you're going to go into it, Billy, to be ahead with the phase of play, like Scott said, we were deserved, as well as Billy said as well, we were deserved. What annoys me is that we're not surprised that nothing happened after that. And I think for us, it's very telling. Listen, we can rip into this team. We can talk about stats and facts stuff. At the end of the day, you've got to want it. You've got to want to do it yourself. Take some pride in your own performance. When you're in individual battles, actually go out and perform. I've said this before. How many times have I said this to you, Scotty? When you play for Rangers, you've got a responsibility to entertain, win, and dominate. And we're not even doing that. Yes, okay, we won the game and stuff. However, but we're all talking in the group chat, and Christ, there's more movement from us. More movements and more formation talking than us, And I think to myself, like I said, to answer the question, no, because where we are right now, it's not even abysmal. It's just like, let's all be surprised together and see what happens.
Yeah, I know what you mean, mate. So just looking at that first half, it kind of split into a third. So we dominated the first spell, going by the stats, and then Hearts kind of grew into it before we came back into it. But actually, what's quite scary is looking at the stats, it was an incredibly even game. Now, I mean, Scotty, you'll know yourself, I'm more an eye test guy, but the stats and the eye test actually match for me. I thought there was large spells of that game where actually Hearts were driving the game and we were reacting to them. Are you kind of worried that we couldn't exhibit that control with a fairly unchanged team from Thursday?
It's a hard one to answer. Give you a good answer on, to be honest with you, Dave. I just think stats match up, but you're right. They coincides with the eye test today. Hearts were very good at keeping the ball off of Rangers, but Rangers were awful in the press. Rangers were very bad at getting it back. Rangers didn't win second balls anywhere today. I thought Jeff Day was the only good player today in terms of retrieving the ball, in terms of recoveries, progressing it forward. Raskin, very good again in central midfield, but there's a lot to be said for central midfield's distribution of the ball. It's not good enough.
It's not enough quality, Scott. Scott, say it. It's not enough quality on the pitch. There's not enough quality on the pitch, and that's why. Sorry to cut you off, Scott. That's why Hearts were still in the game because the lack of quality that we showed on the ball, and also the lack of quality Hearts showed on the ball. So we're just as bad as each other. Sorry, Scott, to cut you off.
No, you're fine. You're absolutely fine, mate. You're 100% spot on. It's just, I don't know. I'm happy to get 3 points, but the optimism I had going into the game, I was expecting us to really kick on and stamp what we've shown in the previous two matches. The fight back against Motherwell, some good football, really, really good performance against Olympiacos the other night. But we know European football is more suited to Rangers than what domestic football is. In January, Dave, I'm sorry to say, but we need to go and we need to get some Scottish players in this team so that we can do this domestically.
Yeah, and I think they've led quite nicely, actually, Billy, into the next kind of topic I wanted to talk about, which was just how wasteful we were with the ball at times. I think the guys obviously picked up the quality in central midfield, but it certainly wasn't isolated to there. I was seeing slack passes from the defence, from the attackers. For me, I don't mind a few misplaced passes because generally speaking, that's, you try to do something and it just hasn't quite come off. But is it a worry for you, the amount of misplaced passes that we do seem to be putting in game after game after game?
It's definitely a worry, mate, and it seems to be kind of systemic at the moment. We, as you say, we started the season and we were told by the manager that this will come. It's just because the players don't know each other or whatever. But this is now a good few months in, and these silly kind of. There was one when it was later on in the second half. Was it Dio? So I think it was Cherny or something involved in it, and he went to run on and he just lets the ball run off the park. So I'm just kind of fresh off watching it. I'm just remember the game. But these things are happening too often. Diomande seems to be really good with his feet, but then places, slack balls, no kind of meaning behind them. You've got defenders in the first half with Suter giving that awful back pass that we see more than once in the last few months. You know what, mate? I bumped into, I'm on holiday. I bumped into a guy in a shop earlier on today wearing the Rangers top, and I said, "You going back on board to watch the game?" And he's like, "Nah, they'll probably drop points. They'll play a good game in Europe, and then they'll throw it away again at the weekend." And thankfully we didn't do that today. But that's the feelings amongst the fans, that there's just no real, as you say, quality, Scotty. That we need someone else in midfield. We need someone who can put the ball in the back of the net and doesn't squander there, because we create chances, we just don't really take more than one of them. So it's a frustration all round. Despite winning, we're walking away from this game again. It's just not kind of where we need it to be, is it?
Bobby, I think one of the regular contributors that actually said on Friday about this as well, but he's adamant we're crying out for a creative six that can kind of dictate the game and has that quality. Would you agree with that assessment?
Yeah, so I think, as I said about the responsibility of being a Rangers player, right? Just to add to what Billy said about how you asked him about the wasteful things. See, for me, personally, and this is my opinion only, right? You know when you say a team needs to gel, I think that's bullshit. So, Scott, can I swear on this? So sorry. Sorry. I think that's nonsense, right? Because I'll give you an example. When you go and play 7-a-sides at your local whatever, right? When you play with a couple of good players, the transition, okay, and the passes are slick and good because you're like, right, okay, let's play on this. Let's attack on this side. That guy's weak. Don't give me this whole 11 players that train twice a day, a couple of weeks, cannot find a way to win a game of football. Forget what you've learned in training, okay? I'm an attacking player. Give me the fucking ball, okay? Let me run at this guy. Let me run him down till he's tired that he can make a mistake. Come up with something. It's okay if you're misplacing passes if we're dominating possession, but we're actually turning over the ball where we come out of defence and it's like, what next? You've got Barron doing a little circle because he can't go right, then he's got to go left, and then you see Jeffy turn up to take the ball back and then we go back again. Don't give me this whole excuse about, they need to gel. That's crap. They all know how to play football. They all know how to play attacking football. To go to your question about deep line six, yes, we need a deep line playmaker. The interesting addition to my answer to you is that Rangers don't have the money to go and buy one. And this is where, Scott says we need to go get Scottish players. I said this last season. I went, Clement should just cherry pick all the good players in the league. All the good players in the league. Alex McLeif's done it, and it worked for him very, very well. But now is that you've got to identify and recruit very, very smartly. It's okay saying we need a deep line, but there's no point bringing in someone who can't run, who can't be physical, who actually, if you give me the ball, I'm the sixth. Yeah, I've got no runners. I've got no options. So technically, you need someone who can play with someone like that. You need someone who's going to be brave up front. We also need wingers who want to take the ball and take on fullbacks. None of this cutting in and taking a shot. I get that. It's how we sometimes got our goals. But can we mix it up, please? Can we put a right-footed winger on the right wing? You know what I mean? How about a cross after you beat the man? What we're doing in the kitchen, mate, when you make a salad, you mix it up. You got peppers, cucumber, lettuce. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I don't know if you prefer ranch or mayo or salt and pepper. Can we do something in Rangers where Tierney isn't cutting off his left, coming on the left and taking a shot? Or same again with Brad. Like, can we swap flanks, guys? Can we give the opposition something to think about? Yes, we need a deep line playing a six. But however, I ask you guys this question: who can Rangers afford to play that? Okay, at the same time, you can't just bring in a deep line playmaker to play at six, because it's okay, me being the six, these being the creative player. What have I got to pass to?
Aye.
Sorry, I'm just...
No. I get it, mate. I do. Go on, Billy.
The other thing that was frustrating me with the game, and it happens all the time, is when we do maybe pick up a loose ball in midfield and we break forward, there's no one tries to make an effort to get into the box. The players left, Bayrami was left by himself, I think, in the first half at one point when you watch other teams. I mean, Hearts were doing it. When they broke forward, they had 5 or 6 players in the box. It's just another frustration with this team that there's no urgency in kind of getting forward. So we'd maybe finish some more chances, or we'll maybe create some more chances if we get players forward.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely, mate. And Scott, looking at the other end of the pitch then, forget about the midfield for a minute. Let's come on to the strike. So obviously Cyril Dessers does bag another goal. We had Mitch in the group chat reminding us that's 3-3 apparently. But That's one that isn't matching the eye test for me. What did you make of his performance through that game for the time he was on?
It's a very Dessers-like performance, wasn't it? It was, but again, there doesn't seem to be that cohesion that we seen the other night when we were getting the ball up front. There was bodies running about him, just like Bobby and Billy have said. Today there wasn't. It was left up there. He was isolated up front on his Todd. He was getting no service apart from the goal. So my sympathies lie with him in that aspect, is that we need to do more of a team to support him, but then he needs to improve his hold-up play. He needs to be able to win a header. I saw stuff that he's been asked to do that he can't do, and he can't learn to do it now. So, to me, the manager changes the narrative in his substitutions, and he does that by bringing Dessers off and Czerny off and putting guys like Hadji and Danilo on and really going and firing ahead for the second goal. To me, that would have made a difference. The different runs Danilo makes, he's a completely different type of player. We need to start getting these guys minutes, Dave. We can only go on like this for so long. I mean, that was 2 right backs that come on again in day one into centre mid and 1 subbing the captain off. You can't even do that against Arsenal at home. It's just, come on, this is where a manager needs to open his eyes and go, right, what am I doing wrong here? And have a wee bit of reflection and responsibility for your job, because right now, all I'm saying is, I mean, we banked in against Hearts second half of the day. There's not really any way getting around about it. That's a cold hard truth, in fact. We sat in and countered where we could, and we used Jeffy as the only out ball.
Which is horrible, and it's wrong. Yeah, sorry, Scott. Just to add on to that, Scott, you're right. It's horrible. If you think Jeffy's our out ball, that is. Where was the last time Rangers had a left back that was the out ball? It's unheard of. Don't get wrong, we've had some good left backs back in the day, but that's unheard of. The left back should not be the outlet. Jeffy will obviously come into his own and stuff. And listen, he was probably man of the match. We're talking about changing up in quality, but then, we're talking about what's the plan. Like, I mean, if you looked at the back 4 of Hearts today, did we play on anyone? Did we give a fullback a hard time? What individual battles we staying? We're talking about, Barron and Raskin. Look, I'm buzzing Raskin's playing. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a good football player. But he's only one player. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? Right. Playing Dio his actual position, well done, bravo. But we can't give Clement praise for doing what he should be doing. Playing his actual position. What strikes me is just that after we went 1-0 up, okay, I was looking at the body language of the players and thinking, okay, what's going to happen now? Are we going to sit in, like you said? But sorry, Dave, we sat in. We're at home. We're at home, by the way, Ibrox, and we're allowing Hearts come on to us. I'll repeat that again. Rangers are at home, and we're allowing Hearts to come on to us. That is unheard of. I don't care if it's bloody Stockton Park or Braehead Arena. That doesn't happen. That should not happen. And then we've got to look at, you can talk about the players and stuff, but let's put Clement's management to one side, right? You've got Raskin, Barron, Diomande, Czerny, Brownie, and Dessers. Are you trying to tell me out these players, they can't come up with a way to try and break Hearts down? Do you know what I mean? How about playing Czerny high and wide? All the wingers high and wide. Stay up. Let them think about you. Go 1-for-1. This is just common basic attacking football. Why can we not do that? I don't know, man.
It is dire, and to be honest, again, looking at the stats, actually Hearts did have the better of that second half, and that's not because they were great, but I think you're absolutely right, Bobby. It's because we let them, for want of a better term. We kind of sat back, let them come on to us. We were probably quite fortunate at the start of the second half, actually. I think it was Vargas almost scored, put it off the post.
Yeah.
That could have been an awful lot worse for me. Billy, just sticking with the strikers then. Obviously, Danilo came on last week, made quite a positive impact, I would say. I wasn't that impressed with him today. I know he had a bit less time, but I don't think he impacted it in the same way. What did you make of his wee cameo there?
Just what you say, mate. He never had time. He maybe is due a start. Then we'll see if he's not just a sick note that he's been kind of accused of, which I feel is a bit unfair. There are 2 bad injuries that he sustained that were not his fault. But he also never really got himself in the box. So We can't really judge him as a striker if he's not going to, like as Scotty was saying earlier on, Dessers doesn't hold the ball up. He's not going to learn that now. Well, is Danilo going to hold the ball up, or what is the formation we defer to when Danilo comes on? And again, I mean, loads of people have said this. It's a cliche, but you know, if we're not going to play, we're bringing on right backs when we need to go. Well, we don't need to go and go. We're winning, but we're bringing on defenders when we need to, or for the sake of getting a better result. Should be going for more more forward players, more the guys that are going to get you a goal. That for as much as Casemiro, I do like. I'm not, and he did have a good shot actually, but he's not someone I'm expecting you to bring on. And again, if Kieran Dowell is the answer, what is the question? Why is Kieran Dowell coming on to play in these games? And I'm going to go back. This is after a win.
Yeah.
Bobby's an effervescent guy. Yeah, Bobby, you're really outgoing and you're really. I've never seen you as angry as this after it's a win. It's crazy. We all can see that this isn't working. So it's mental.
To add on to what you're saying, Billy, right? Like you said, we're coming on. Hearts are looking at the sideline and they see two right backs come on. They're probably thinking, listen, we're in this. Like, they're not interested in trying to go in the winner. So Hearts start to play higher, take more risks. If Penrith had a bit more quality, took an extra touch, who knows? I believe it's Benaminge's shot that went across from Butland. Another day that could go at the back of the net. I think the frustration thing is just that, like, we're seeing the changes, but the changes are happening too late. Also, to add to the Dessers conversation, people might not agree with this, but I want your guys' opinion. Listen, Dessers is a fan base split or whatever like that, right?
Yeah.
What I believe would help him, right? See if we had two fast pace and power. I'm going to say it, pace and power, right? Wingers that were just only interested in just beating their man and crossing in. Do we play more to Dessers' strengths? Because technically, I'm the most biased person when it comes to Nigerian football players because I am Nigerian. I will back every Nigerian player to the hell, right? And I tweeted last week, I can't defend them there. But then I think to myself, right, do we play to his strengths? Do we do one-touch football or one-touch finishing and training and so on? Because I'm thinking, if he had two wingers close to him, high as well, with him, his gameplay simplifies. Win the ball, play it wide. Go up the park. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
We call it, you can say hold up play, but if he's got more people and support around him, he doesn't really have to hold it up. Just win the ball, play it away and spin. And we all know movement. Striker comes in, defender goes with him, spins. There's a hole in the midfield. There's one less defender at the back. And sorry, I'm getting really passionate about this. I beg your pardon. But I'm just saying that, like, are we giving Dessers a chance as well? Like, we can always say he's this, he's that. But at the same time, are we playing to his strengths? We're talking about Danilo coming in. He didn't even look interested in going to the box. He was like, nah, I'm not getting injured. I'm just getting fit. He's probably thinking, listen, I want to get through this, get through to the break, and then try and come a bit stronger. I don't blame him mentally, but then don't put him on then. Like, right. Do you know what I mean? If that's what you're going to, don't put him on. Like, for me personally, we've got to just, people say rip it up, but it's not even go back to basics. It's just go back to playing how people play. Thank God he's finally put Barra and Raskin in Diop because they can keep the ball and so on. However, go further than that. Like, if you're saying the Dessers can't hold up the ball, fair enough. Put someone beside him. Get wingers closer to him. And then when we do break, who knows? You know what I mean? Yeah. I'd like to see people in a sprint with power and pace and power wingers with Dessers. Because at the end of the day, if you've got a defender turning, listen, over 10 yards, I don't think anyone will catch Dessers. Someone might disagree with that, but I'm saying over 10 yards. That's what I'm saying, over 10 yards. Yeah. Just to clarify.
No, absolutely. And I think that's an interesting point. I think if you think last season we had someone like Abdallah Sima that really would burst past players. Sometimes he would drift in, but he would keep it out wide as well. And we seem to be very focused on playing both Cherney and Bayrami as inside forwards, I've noticed lately. So I think that's a very valid point. Just lastly then, just want to touch on the manager himself. I think the team itself was probably about as expected. I get we might had a bit of debate about whether Tav would be back in. I think I always kind of thought he would be for this one. What did you make of his subs, Scotty? Because personally, I wasn't impressed.
No. Like I was saying, but we needed energy and pace to come on at a time in the game when the narrative needed changing. Like I says, if you bring in Hadji for Czerny and bring in Danilo earlier for Dessers, then it's giving you different options. Like Bobby said, we're mixing it up in. Badrami was awful quiet today. I was surprised he stayed on the park as long as he did. Like I said, the only one I've got pass marks for the day is Jeff Day and Raskin. Jeff Day was only out ball coming for left back, and Raskin done Raskin things. Connor Barron coming off was a wee bit muddling as well. I mean, putting Sterling in, he needs to. I don't know.
I think Sterling just needs to be getting a position to focus on.
100%.
1 minute he's starting right back, then he's been chucked on in the midfield. Are you really being fair to him?
No, you're not. You're not being fair, because can you imagine in training? People that are watching.
Do you want me to train today, boss?
Yeah, but that's the question though, because it's like, well, it's also a poisonous chalice, because you guys might remember Phil Neville for Man United, John O'Shea for Man United, Mr. Utility Player. But actually, it's from the fans. Oh, it's brilliant, he can play it. But for the individual, it's probably a nightmare. Listen, he's a right back. Play him right back. That's it. The odd centre half duo, hold the role, cool. But then we get away with it if we dominate possession and we're always attacking, right?
Yeah.
You can get away with doing that. But not when you're in a game against Hearts at home and you're only 1-0 up. It's different. You either play him in his position. People might not like what I'm going to say. You either play him in his position or you don't play him at all. That's my thoughts, because we're now. How do I put this into words? Putting Sterling in centre midfield is blocking someone else's trajectory into the team, path into the team. Putting him left back is stopping someone else on the team. If you're a young one, someone in reserve, whatever, play him right back. If he doesn't get on right back, he shouldn't start. And that's my opinion. I might get kicked for this or whatever, but I'm just saying, what is the plan when you're 1-0 at home and you're chasing a second goal and you put Sterling on centre midfield? Like, what is the message to the opposition?
Yeah. And Billy, were you, I don't want to say surprised, but and I certainly don't want to ask you to justify it, but what were your thoughts seeing Dowell come on in front of Hadji?
Well, the fact that we spent the last 5 to 10 minutes of the game defending long throw-ins, as usual, show that he's not influencing the team in a forward-thinking way. So I don't know why sort out Hadji's contract and then not play him.
Yeah.
What was the point? If you weren't going to play him anyway, why deal with it? I mean, I was thinking round about that time before the subs came on, I wonder if Hadji's going to get on, and then you see Dowell standing there. I don't know. It's nothing. I don't have any great vendetta against Dowell, but it's like, how many times have we said, like, there's players in the team that will get you the sack, and unfortunately, he's probably one of the players, amongst a few others, that will probably get the manager the sack. I don't know if it was a comment earlier on that came on the screen, but we literally are just waiting for the defeat so he can get sacked. That's what I feel at the moment. Unless he turns, we start playing and start smashing teams. But based on today's performance, I don't think that's likely.
Looks a while away, doesn't it? Looks a while away. Okay, I think that'll about do it for tonight. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you did like what you hear, then please do like the video, like and subscribe to the channel. We will be back tomorrow night with a full match review, going in depth into the snooze fest of today. In the meantime, any final words, Scotty?
No, Dave, thanks for having me, mate.
No, not at all. Billy, probably have more fun on your cruise ship than watching the game today, I'd imagine. But thanks for coming on and taking the time.
No, you have fun with severely overweight 95-year-olds. I don't. I was just joking. It's just nice to be in the sun at this time of year, mate. So but no more comments in the game. I'll probably watch the highlights back and I'll listen to you tomorrow night, whoever's on the show tomorrow night. But thanks for having us on, mate.
Pleasure as always, mate. And Bobby, last but again, certainly not least, thanks for joining us tonight, mate.
No, thanks so much, mate. Scotty, shout out to everyone on the Rangers Journal. Scotty, thank you so much again for having me back. And yeah, man, listen, I'm looking to create some good content with you guys. probably drop a few controversial statements, but hey, I'm back, so I look forward to it, man. Thanks again. Enjoyed that one, guys. I really did.
Cheers,
mate.
Bobby.
And everyone at home, thanks for listening tonight. Remember, every night's a Rangers Journal night.